This video will reveal my 14 picks on the NFL games that will take place Sunday, December 14th, 2025. Before we dive into the main content, I've got to mention the fact that the weekly NFL lobster bets have been literally destroying the sportsbooks. Remember that we're talking about the bet that I believe is the absolute best each week on sides or totals. Since I began sharing those lucrative betting tips last year, we have posted a rock-solid 17-6-1 record, a 73% winning rate. For example, last week my favorite wager was the Minnesota Vikings full game moneyline. The odds were around -110 in American format or 1.91 in decimal format, and they ended up smashing the Commanders 31-0. We have been red hot in recent times. Indeed, we have accumulated 10 wins, 2 losses, and 1 push over the past 13 weeks. Now, what is the weekly NFL lobster bet for week 15? All I can say is that it concerns the Monday night matchup between the Dolphins and the Steelers. If you would like to gain exclusive access to this high confidence pick, just follow the link below in the comments. As always, the prediction comes with a money-back guarantee, which means you get your investment back if the pick loses. But that has not been necessary the vast majority of the time. You will find a second link below, which will allow you to get a season pass. In short, by signing up through this special link, you will receive in your mailbox the weekly lobster bet for the remaining 4 weeks of the regular season, along with the 4 weeks of the playoffs. So in total, you will get 8 rock-solid picks. That being said, it's time to unveil my picks on the 14 games that will occur on Sunday for week 15. Enjoy the show, my friend! First, I am betting the Cleveland Browns +8 in Chicago. I'll say it again. The Bears are not as good as their record indicates. Last week, I faded them against the Packers. One of my biggest arguments was the fact that the combined record of their 2025 opponents had been 54, 90, and 1 up to that point. Honestly, I would not be surprised if they collapsed down the road. The Bears will be facing Cleveland's defense, a unit that has given up the second fewest yards per game on average. Meanwhile, the Bears are the 6th worst NFL club in terms of that same metric. We know we can trust Cleveland's defense, but what about their offense? I believe they will be fine. Not only are they facing an ordinary defense, but the quality of play of Shedeur Sanders has been better than expected. Last week, he racked up 364 passing yards while tossing 3 TD passes. Sure, that was against Tennessee, but Chicago is not that much better, defensively speaking. This match could also be viewed as a sandwich game for the Bears. As a matter of fact, this contest against Cleveland is sandwiched between a couple of meetings with their arch rivals from Green Bay. The Bears are also coming off a stretch during which they had to travel 5 times out of the past 7 weeks. That's a lot of traveling. For all of these reasons, I am betting the Browns +8 at Soldier Field. What the heck is going on with Lamar Jackson? During the course of his past 5 games, he has accumulated just 2 TD passes versus 4 interceptions. He has also obtained less than 200 passing yards per game during this bad run. Granted, he ran the ball with more confidence last week. Still, the Ravens do not look like a confident squad right now. As you can guess, my bet goes to the Cincinnati Bengals +2.5 at home against Baltimore. Outside of back-to-back interceptions in Buffalo last week, Joe Burrow has been masterful since returning to action. He actually found a way to throw for 284 yards and 4 TDs in snowy conditions against a very decent pass defense. He made a lot of stunning throws. T. Higgins was a star last week against the Bills. He was evaluated for a concussion during the game but returned on the field. After the game, he reported some symptoms, so he is entering the league's protocol again. Will he get cleared in time for the game? I am crossing my fingers that he will. Cincinnati's defense tends to play a lot better when Burrow is the team's starting QB. They held Josh Allen and company in check during the first half but fell apart in the second half. I believe they will find a way to slow down Lamar's offense, which is not performing very well in recent times. Let's roll with the Bengals plus 2.5 in front of their home fans against the Ravens. When I first saw the line on the Chargers-Chiefs game, I was like, what? How can the Chiefs be favored by 4 points against a team that has won 3 more games than them? It appeared like I was clearly going to back Los Angeles in this AFC West contest. However, after doing my due diligence, I am going the other way. My official play here is to grab Kansas City minus 4. LA's point differential this year is plus 28 compared to plus 63 for the Chiefs. Advantage KC here. Moreover, the Chargers lose 1 day of rest and preparation after playing last Monday night against the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Chiefs will be at home for the 3rd time in 4 weeks, so not a lot of traveling involved in recent times. The Chiefs also have the revenge factor on their side. Back in the season opener, they suffered a 27-21 defeat in Brazil against those same Chargers. That snapped a 7-game winning streak for the Chiefs against LA in recent years. During their past 16 home games in December, the Chiefs hold a spectacular 14-2 record. The weather is going to be cold, which gives KC another big advantage over a team that's used to hot weather. My main concern about this bet is the fact that the Chargers' defense has been stingier lately. In their past 6 contests, they have squandered just 18 points per game. But Los Angeles has big offensive line issues. They have given up the 3rd most sacks in the NFL this season, and they are very depleted at the position. I believe the Chiefs will bounce back against divisional rivals, so I will opt for KC laying 4 points against the Chargers in Week 15. Here comes the game where I had the most difficulty coming up with a selection. I'm talking about the great AFC East showdown between the Bills and the Patriots. The logical pick is to go with New England, but my gut feeling is going with Buffalo. In the end, I have decided to take the Bills to win outright, but I don't have a lot of confidence in this prediction. Mike Vrabel will certainly motivate his squad by telling them that they are being disrespected. The Pats are underdogs in this game despite owning the AFC's best record and being at home for this contest. However, to me, New England has not been tested yet. The combined record of their 13 opponents this year is 59-110, a very low 35% winning percentage. The only team with an 8-5 record or better that they have faced is Buffalo. They beat them earlier in the year, but the Bills shot themselves in the foot via 3 turnovers. I am also worried about the Patriots coming off their bye week, whereas the Bills will be on the road for a 3rd week over a 4-week period. But Buffalo will be looking to avenge the Week 5 loss, and Josh Allen has been playing like Superman on numerous occasions. Despite limited weapons catching the ball, he has found a way to lead his team to victory many times. He is used to big, meaningful games late in the season, which is not the case of Drake May. Ultimately, I am predicting a win by Sean McDermott's team in New England, but I would not bet a lot of money on that. In the Commanders-Giants game, I like the over to hit. More precisely, I am backing over 47 points to be scored. Both clubs are in the bottom 3 of the league in terms of yards allowed per game, and both of them have a competent offense. On one hand, Washington may not have Jaden Daniels under center, but Marcus Mariota is more than capable of putting points on the board against the G-Men. In fact, Mariota has a superior adjusted QBR than Daniels this season. With Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown recently returning to action, the team has many weapons on offense. On the other hand, we have all seen how New York's offense has looked a lot better with Jackson Dart at the helm. He can do damage both with his arm and his legs. The team has also had 7 extra days to game plan since they are coming off their bye week. Last week I told you about a solid NFL betting strategy. Betting teams coming off a game in which they were the victim of a shutout. Such clubs have beaten the spread at a 65% to 70% clip since 2017. So far in 2025, a total of 5 teams have been shut out. The first 4 have all beaten the spread the following week, including the Vikings in Week 14, who demolished Washington. The 5th team that got shut out is Washington last week. Based on this information, we should be backing the Commanders plus 2.5. I'm not so sure I love this bet though, so I will call it a lean. If you were considering to bet the Giants, I would warn you to be cautious. Personally, I prefer to take the game's full game over. Good luck with this wager, my friend. Here comes a pick receiving the highest grade, A. This means it is viewed as a premium pick, and keep in mind that such high confidence plays across all sports and leagues get shared on my site at mjpicks.com. Without further ado, my betting pick on the Vegas-Philadelphia matchup is as follows. I am backing the Raiders plus 12.5. There will be a lot of pressure on Philadelphia players. It won't take much before the crowd starts booing its team. The Eagles are facing a 2-11 team at home, so they've got everything to lose and nothing to gain. Also, do you know how many times the Eagles have won by double digits in the 2025 campaign? The answer is just once. Philly played last Monday, so they are losing one day of rest. That makes a difference. Geno Smith suffered a shoulder injury last week. If Kenny Pickett starts, I believe that is a positive for the Raiders. The offense has been dreadful, so bringing in a new guy could give a spark. Pickett was also a member of the Eagles last year, so he will be motivated to beat them. He completed 11 of 8 passes last week, including a TD pass in Denver. The Raiders' defense ranks in the middle of the pack in terms of yards allowed per game. More specifically, they occupy the 16th spot. Not too bad. Meanwhile, we all know how Philly's offense is struggling, so it won't be easy for them to win by 13 points or more. No doubt about it, I am betting the Raiders plus 12.5 at Lincoln Financial Field. I will roll with another big underdog on Sunday. I am opting for the Jets plus 12.5 in Jacksonville. In my mind, only a elite team should be favored by 10 plus points in the NFL. The Jaguars do not qualify as an elite team yet. Their defense has been playing better lately with only 13 points allowed per game over the past 4 games. But talent-wise, they are not that good. They are okay, but nothing more. Tyrod Taylor is out with a groin injury. Justin Fields may not be ready for action either. That means Brady Cook could start for the Jets. That is not reassuring for sure, but I think Breece Hall could do some damage to keep it close. Let's go with the Jets plus 12.5 this weekend. The last 1 p.m. game features the Cardinals traveling to Houston to take on the red-hot Texans. Yes, that's right, I am going to go with another underdog with a large spread. This time I am taking Arizona plus 10. Winning by 10 points or more in the NFL is hard. It is even more difficult when your offense ranks 29th in success rate and 24th in EPA per play. Sure, Houston's defense is elite, but Arizona's offense can score enough points to keep it within striking distance. Jacoby Brissett has done wonders for the Cardinals this year. He has averaged 307 passing yards per game. It is worth noting that Marvin Harrison Jr. has a shot to return to action this week following a heel injury. I am hoping he can suit up this Sunday. While he's been out, Michael Wilson has picked up the slack with 3 games above 100 receiving yards. Along with tight end Trey McBride, they have some firepower. I cannot wait for the Packers-Broncos showdown that will take place this Sunday. Despite winning 10 games in a row and being at home, Denver is a small underdog. Why? Because, just like the Patriots, they have faced weaker opposition. The combined record of their 2025 opponents is 44-85-1, a 34% winning rate. Can you believe that 7 of Denver's 10 wins occurred by a margin of 4 points or fewer? For example, they beat the Jets by 2, the Giants by 1, the Raiders by 3, and the Commanders by 1. Don't you agree that those wins against poor clubs are not super impressive? I believe the Packers match up well against the Broncos. Denver has a great shutdown corner in Patrick Surtain, but Green Bay does not rely on a star number 1 wideout. Instead, they have several fairly good receivers like Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Matthew Golden, and Dotavian Wicks. I think Jordan Love will be fine finding open receivers or tight ends. Green Bay's defense is just as solid as Denver's. Both defenses are among the top 5 in yards allowed per game and in the top 6 in terms of points allowed per game. The Broncos lost their starting running back, J.K. Dobbins. The new number 1 tailback has been rookie R.J. Harvey. He had been good catching passes, but he was not running very efficiently with a yards per carry average below 3 on many occasions. He fared better last week, but that was against Vegas, whose defense is not as good as Green Bay's. That might force Bo Nix to throw, and he has proven multiple times that he can be very inconsistent. So, all in all, I prefer to side with the Packers to win outright. Green Bay's full game moneyline is my official pick on this game. At first sight, I thought I would go with the Lions plus 5, but after researching this game, I have decided to go with the Rams, laying 5 points at home against Detroit. The Lions are likely to be without their 2 starting safeties and their number 1 cornerback. That is a huge blow to a defense that has given up 29.3 points per game during the last 3 games. During this stretch, they even surrendered 517 total yards to the Giants. Jared Goff tends to struggle a lot when pressured. He is likely to be under duress often against a fierce Rams pass rush. LA has racked up the 6th most sacks in the league in 2025. Matthew Stafford rebounded nicely after turning the ball over 3 times in Carolina. Last week, they demolished the Cardinals 45-17. In that game, Stafford threw for 3 TDs. Running back Blake Corum has impressed me a lot. He is carving a bigger role each week, deservedly so. He and Karen Williams form a great and dangerous duo in the backfield. Paired with Puka Nacua and Davante Adams at the wide receiver position, the Rams are loaded on offense. If you believe in the DVOA metric, it is suggesting that the Rams are first in terms of offense and third in terms of defense. It doesn't get any better than this. For these reasons, I will go with the Rams -5 against the Lions. The Panthers must win in New Orleans if they want to keep up with the Buccaneers atop the NFC South Division. I will go with Carolina -2.5 this weekend. Based on historical data, road favorites coming off their bye week tend to beat the spread at a high rate. Carolina fits under this description, so that reinforces my confidence about this selection. The Panthers will also be looking to avenge a disappointing 17-7 home loss against those same Saints back in Week 10. In that game, the Saints dominated total yardage 388 to 175. Rico Dowdle was limited to 53 rushing yards on 18 carries, a low 2.9 average. The Panthers will be super motivated to get some payback. Running back Alvin Kamara is on the wrong side of questionable. He did not practice at all last week, so I don't believe he will be out there. Still, let's be cautious with Carolina. Despite their 7-6 record, their season point differential is -50. They are 26th in overall DVOA. They are not that good. But they still beat the Rams and the Packers, and they have everything to play for, so I will roll with the Panthers -2.5 in New Orleans. Okay, we have 3 more games to cover. Would you like to get another pick rated A? I really love the 49ers team total to go over 27.5 points. In other words, I am banking on the fact that San Francisco will score a minimum of 28 points at home against Tennessee. This is a scary bet once you realize that the Niners have put 28 points on the board just 2 times out of 13 games this year. But let me explain why I love this wager. First, Tennessee's defense is weak. They have squandered the 4th most points per game this year. Also, their offense has fared better lately, which will force the 49ers to continue piling up the points. During his first 9 games, Cam Ward threw 5 TDs and 6 interceptions. In his past 4 games, he has obtained 4 TD passes versus just 1 pick. Much better. The icing on the cake is the fact that the 49ers are coming off their bye week. They will be fresh, and they had ample time to game plan against the Titans. Tennessee played in Cleveland last week, and they had to travel across the whole country to get to San Francisco. That is not an ideal situation. I will say it once more, I really like the 49ers to score over 27.5 points against the Titans this weekend. I would like to share another pick on the team total. This time I am going with the Seahawks to score over 27.5 points against Indianapolis. The Colts will be deflated after losing Daniel Jones to a season-ending injury. The team has also lost 3 in a row, so their spirits are low at the moment. Anthony Richardson is not available either. Riley Leonard sustained a knee injury last week. It seems uncertain whether he will be under center or not. The team even signed Philip Rivers to their practice squad. That shows how desperate they are. No matter who is the starting QB, it won't be pretty. The Seahawks are likely to benefit from a few turnovers, which usually helps putting more points on the board. The only chance the Colts have is if they can run the ball effectively, but that would be difficult. Jonathan Taylor is great, but the Seahawks will stack the line of scrimmage, and they are allowing the 2nd lowest yards per carry average in the league. To top it all off, the Colts will be traveling through 3 time zones to play this game, and they will be on the road for the 3rd time in 4 weeks. And their defense has been significantly regressing in recent times. Adding it all up, I am placing a wager on Seattle's team total to go over 27.5. The Sunday night game features the Vikings battling the Cowboys. Dallas was heating up and making a push in the playoff race, but they suffered a crushing blow after losing against the Lions last week. Now, against the Vikings, it won't be easy to win by 7 points or more. For this reason, I am betting Minnesota plus 6 at AT&T Stadium in Week 15. Confidence is key for young QBs. Following his performance last week, J.J. McCarthy is probably feeling good about himself. He is about to face a bad defense, so I am pretty sure he will find a way to either win the game or lose by a small margin. Minnesota loves to blitz. I believe they will create some problems for Dak Prescott. CeeDee Lamb left last week's game with a concussion. Will he clear the league's protocol in time for the Sunday night matchup? That remains to be seen. I would love this bet even more if Lamb is ruled out. I know Dallas has extra rest in this spot, but I still believe the Vikings will cover the 6-point spread. McCarthy led TD drives of 61 and 98 yards last week. He could enjoy similar success against the Cowboys defense. He used his feet well to avoid pressure, so we need more of the same this week. Let's take a stab at the Vikings plus 6 in Dallas. In my humble opinion, the very best bet of Week 15 concerns the Monday night game between Miami and Pittsburgh. What is the bet in question? To find out, just follow the link below in the comments and join our group of around 60 to 95 savvy sports investors who regularly sign up for my weekly NFL LOBSTER bet. Such high confidence plays have generated a lot of profit following a mind-boggling 17-6-1 record. And you are backed with a money-back guarantee as well. I'm Professor MJ. I have accumulated more than $1 million with my bets since 1999, and I'm here to help you out. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.